What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to the channel. So Chromatic has given me the absolute privilege to announce the new game mode coming to Dungeon Defenders 2 in the next update. This is a new end-game game mode that's very different to what we currently play. However, it is very similar to the way things were back in like the Nightmare days. This is the Elemental Rumble gameplay mode. This gameplay mode is going to be on a weekly rotation, and each week there is going to be a specific element. As you can see, this week it is Water Week. Now, in addition to that, each week there is going to be a progress bar similar to Mastery mode that you can go through and unlock special rewards for that week. Every week, it's going to be a specific set of maps with a specific set of lanes that you will have to counter to make your way through the week's progress. As I mentioned, this will reset on a weekly rotation with a different element, giving us a different experience every single week. The game mode itself has 3 difficulties. There is Easy, which is comparable to about Chaos 7 difficulty. There is Normal, which is comparable to about Chaos 10 difficulty, and then there is Hard, which is comparable to about Onslaught Floor 960. Now, these game modes or these maps are going to play very differently to what we currently have in the game, as there are now going to be special elemental counters on each lane. Every week, the rotation of maps will change, so it will go around to various maps throughout the game. This week, for example, one of our maps is Gates of Dragonfall. Let's hop in and check it out. Now, each week's element will decide the theme and the rewards for that week. However, each individual lane will have its own elemental counter. If we look here, this particular bridge lane is a Water Elite lane, where enemies have 50% more health, deal 25% more damage, and heal for 5% of their max HP every second. To counter this lane, if you use storm damage, it's going to do 200% damage. If you use water damage, it's only going to do 50% physical and magic damage as well. And then if you use that the weak element to that lane's element, it's only going to do 25% damage. So in this example, if you threw down Flamars in this lane, they're only going to be 25% as effective as they normally would be. So in a situation like this on this lane, storm damage is going to shine and is going to give us that 200% damage bonus. Now, each lane, the enemies themselves have a specific buff. Even though this is comparable to, like I said, on hard mode about floor 960, in easy mode about Chaos 7, it is going to be more difficult than that exact tier, and it's because the enemies have a specific buff. So we went through the water one. The earth elites have 50% more health, deal 25% more damage, and take 50% reduced damage from projectiles. So if I'm sitting here spraying into an earth enemy on my hunter, then of course that enemy is just not going to take the same amount of damage. And then over here, we've got a storm lane. This one's got some typos on the tooltip there, but the storm is going to take 200% damage from earth. It's going to take 50% damage from physical, magic, and storm damage. And then it's only going to take 25% damage from water damage. Now, all of this is still in testing, and it is still very much work in progress, so things will get dialed in and fine-tuned leading up to the update. In this particular lane, you see the Storm Elites have 50% more health, 25% more damage, and enemies emit an amp every 5 seconds that stuns towers for 3 seconds. So this is going to give them kind of like a cyborg effect if you have a bunch of towers that are right in and able to be affected by cyborg. Now, one of the really special things that this brings back to the game is special loot farming. I know many people have heard me complain, and I've heard many other people complain about the state of loot in Dungeon Defenders 2. Well, loot is back, y'all, and it comes in the form of a new armor type. This armor type is part of a set, so you can now collect a set bonus from Elemental Rumble. Now, these sets, of course, are going to be, once again, very much work in progress. They will be dialed in as it leads up to the update. Each week determines what set is available. Now, this week is Water Week, which would give us a water set. Here is a pair of Storm Gloves that would come in Storm Week. Right now, as it stands, you see the plus 5,000 hero damage and ability power. Whenever the hero deals damage, a lightning bolt strikes, dealing 1,000% of hero damage and ability power as magic damage to all enemies within range, stunning them for 3 seconds. That effect has a 10-second cooldown. Now, these different armor set bonuses, like I mentioned, they will be dialed in as we lead up to the update. So this very much is a work in progress and could completely change. However, what we do have is set pieces. So this, of course, is the highest tier, a Chaos 10 drop that comes from the hard difficulty. Now, these are not going to just get spammed at us. It's not run the map, get the reward. They are going to be a very rare drop from the victory chest. So we are going to be encouraged to play the game and farm up some loot, which is just amazing. Now, these do go on that weekly rotation as well. So in Storm Week, you'll want to make sure to complete your Storm set, as the following week will be another element and we'll be dropping another set. So we'll have entirely new sets of gear to collect for all our heroes, which will give us a ton of additional gameplay in the game. Now, there are an absolute ton of other things coming in this update. They've already announced the new hero. We know that is coming, but there is more. Now, you can get directly involved and see this game mode right now if you join the testing team. Chromatic has opened up a new community testing team for Dungeon Defenders 2, and applications are available for that right now. So the team is already forming. If you'd like to be a part of it, you will have to sign a non-disclosure agreement, and it is for PC players. Of course, they're not able to run the tests on various consoles, so you do have to have access to Dungeon Defenders 2 on PC, be at least 18 years old, and able to sign a non-disclosure agreement legally, and then have the ability to go in and test things and report your feedback. So that testing group, as I mentioned, is already forming. If you would like to be a part of it, I will put a link to the tester application down below in the description. I encourage everyone to go through and sign up. Now, it was a real special opportunity for Chromatic to give me the chance to announce this game mode, so thank you all very, very much over at Chromyville, and hopefully this is one of many little sneak peek teases that we'll be doing up to launch of this next update in Dungeon Defenders 2. So good things coming, y'all. A new game mode, we got new loot, we got the new hero, which we already knew about, and we've got an entirely new grind that will keep us busy for a long time in the future. So thanks a ton for watching, and I will see you next time around. Take it easy.